Welcome back to Moto Guzzi, and we're going to be doing the front end. And the good thing about this bike is, in terms of doing that, is that to get it up in the air, we've got a nice flat motor down there where we can use our motorcycle jack to jack it up. None of that engine hoist stuff. Even if we had the pipes on, they wouldn't get in the way. It's all rather lovely. Tickety-boo. Yes, as Queen once said, flat bottom girls make the rocking world go round. Something like that, anyway. We have our new one-piece brake line. So I guess we can start tearing this all apart. First up, let's get the caliper off and all the brake lines, etc. So I've undone it there. I've disconnected this hydraulic brake switch. I've labelled the connections down there somewhere. So next up, remove the lever from the handlebars and the caliper from the wheel. Simples. And then we'll take it outside, drain it, put the new brake line on. The red one. So that's at 17 on both sides. Nice and loose. Bolts and free and clear. Lovely. So that's our hydraulic switch disconnected, and if you remember, we're not putting it back on the Guzzi, but we are going to put it on the bumper car. Yeah, because we've got to get the brake from the front pedal all the way back to the disc. So we'll put that safely in there with all the other bumper car bits. Now we've got those off, obviously we're going to be keeping the caliper. The lever we're going to swap out for one of these boys, like on the Kawasaki, identical to that in fact, and therefore the switch will operate off those two boys there under there, conventional electrical switch off the lever itself. The actual brake lines themselves look in good nick, so I'll probably keep them. We'll possibly use them on the bumper car even. Obviously, while we've got this all apart, we'll be putting some new pads in. They got a bit of wear left on them, but not a lot. There's that all set up, ready to go. I guess we better get the forks off, right? Clean that up, obviously. This is rather nice, the way he's safety wired that in. I can't do that, I haven't got one of those twiddly tools. No, I should probably get one. Anyway, let's get those forks off. From the top end, it looks like we're going to have to take those big octagonal nuts off. Are they octagonal? Hexagonal. Hexagonal. Yeah, anyway, those. Looks like they're not going to slot. Well, actually, they might slot through. Maybe we won't start there. Maybe we'll start with the clamping devices here. And where else? Probably one down here somewhere. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I think we'll start with them and see if the forks fall out. Or perhaps we should just take the front wheel off to start with. Yeah, let's do that. And that means getting that jack out. Yeah, which is easier said than done because this is in the way. What about a wooden badger? And the reason we're using this jack as opposed to the regular jack this time around is because it does have that flat base specifically designed for motorcycles. Yes, this one here. And the Moto Guzzi has a very flat bottom. Yeah, nice. Meanwhile, I've been looking at this while I've been sitting here doing stuff in my chair. And I have an idea. Yeah. A little splash of red. Toothbrush. What I want to do is mask off that inner area, paint it red, and then brush this, sand this off so it's silver. So that is actually the perfect size. Yeah, we have lots of random washers somewhere like that. Yeah, so I found that one. That works. But obviously we need to mask off this area around it. So what I'm going to do is take that, cut the interior out of that sticker, stick the sticker on here, and then mask the rest of it, obviously, and spray that red. See what happens. Well, it's almost there, but it needs a little bit. Something like that. Let's give it a go. Right. Now do it. Well, maybe. We'll see. Alright. Let's try and clean this up. See if this is going to work at all. If it doesn't, we'll just strip the paint off. Well, we're getting there. Meanwhile, what are we going to do with the forks? There's a number of options. Well, it's airborne. It's a little bit wobbly, but I think it'll be all right. So we'll put it down again, take the front wheel off. Well, I've opted to just jack it up in the conventional way on one side so that the tripod, it's a kickstand, gives it that tripod situation. And now we've got to get the front wheel off, so that came off real easy. Now we just loosen these boys here, and that's all that seems to hold the wheel, the axle, in place. Just slot that there. Yeah. Alright. Yes folks, I even consulted the manual, and that's how you do it. Nuts duly loosened, nut duly taken off, and yeah, Tommy bar or large screwdriver in this case to pull that out. Spacer just dropped out this side, noted. One axle, one wheel, free and clear. Right, first up, get these boys off, which can always be fun and games, if you remember the fun I had with those on the R6 front end. And these are 13mm, and obviously we need a corresponding ring spanner, open-ended wrench, whatever, on the other side. Well, that was refreshingly easy actually, revealing another spacer in there, and didn't realise that was all one piece. I thought the hub part was going to be like there. So that's interesting. It explains why they're so bloody expensive as well. It's about $220 for a new one of these. And there's the other side off. We'll drop those in there for safekeeping. So next up, just to decide what we're going to do here really, I'm going to just leave this patina. I'm going to clean it up a bit obviously, but leave the hub as it is. This obviously we're going to clean up and tidy up and spray black, so that also will be black, but this is going to be red. Yeah, that's going to look good. So, a busy weekend ahead of us, especially as Sunday we're working on a race car, so I've got to get all this done tomorrow. And the forks, I don't think so. We'll see how it goes. First up, just a little clean up, honestly. Get rid of some of the grease, then we'll be sanding it down, ready for paint. Using a wire brush, just get rid of some of that surface rust at the same time. Yeah, good. The bad news is, from a painting point of view, it's raining. Good news is, I can put this out there to rinse it off. Sanded and cleaned up and prepped up, ready to go. Did I say black? Let's go red. Lovely. Obviously I didn't have to do that, because as soon as you apply the brakes, all the paint will come off anyway, off the disc. But there's no need to make them work hard and get them all clogged up with paint, is there? So last but not least, let's just protect that a little bit. I might actually leave the backside black. I might. Anyway, here you go. Just a gentle dusting to start with. And we shall continue. One fairly generous coating. Not bad. As I said, having done one side, I'm going to flip it over, see what it looks like. We might get a little bit of overspray, which might look kind of cool on the black. Might just leave it. We'll see what it looks like, eh? Meantime, that came out rather nicely. I think we can all agree. Lovely. Well, top side looks good. Bottom side, not much overspray. A little bit. I think I'm going to have to paint it, aren't I? All right. By the way, has anyone ever noticed while we've been looking at the wheel, this lovely way of balancing the tyre? Isn't that lovely? I like that. Anyway, I'm in trouble with the missus because the whole house stinks of paint, apparently. But there we go. More painting in the morning. Right, let's see if we can get these faults to drop out. So, obviously, I have done the hard bit. I've pre-snapped that boy there, yeah, and that boy there. So let's see what happens. We have slack, and at the top, same deal. All right, that should be plenty, right? Well, yes, it's sliding out nicely. Let's get that wheel out of the way. Oh, okay, needs one last little tug, I think. Good, that's that. Anyway, answered our situation about whether that was going to come out of there with the hexagonal, octagonal nut, and it did. There we go. There they are. There they're not. Obviously, these boys just kind of pull out, but we'll leave them there. We're not going to do anything with those. We're going to leave them chrome, and they work for mounting the headlight. So that's all good. I don't want to frighten anyone about riding their motorcycles, but, you know, it's kind of scary when that's all that's holding that front fork in, those two bolts there. And, yeah. So job for the morning is to sand those down and paint them up, whatever we're going to do. And I left the bolts in just because it was a convenient place to leave them. For the caliper, but it also reminds me which side is which, so I'm going to put some tape around here just to remind me that that's the side that the brakes go. Like so. And on the subject of faults, while I was before I took them off, I just got my little spirit level out and noticed the frame was slightly pointing up towards the front end, as it would for a kind of cruising bike, which is what the 850T was, and the T3 after it. So obviously we'll be poking those forks a little bit above the turrets when we put them back, just to level it out a bit, make it a little bit more sporty and cafe. Well, it seems I've been rambling on more than usual, and we're well over our 10 minutes. I've got to pop down to Ace, get some more of this, because we haven't got quite enough. So we'll finish off the painting and put it all back together in the next episode. So if you haven't already, subscribe down here, something you'll need to do that. Of course, give the video the thumbs up. And encourage others to watch my lunacy.